I'm not looking forward to reversing. I'm really not looking forward to reversing. Wow, this place is so dope. As I come around the corner here, you see the main waterfall.
Be prepared that you might get it wrong.
Won't be doing that again.
Hi, we're Duncan and Soph. This year, we decided to quit our city jobs to adventure and to experience more of the things that we enjoy most. First stop, New South Wales, then on to the tropical north, following the sun all the way around Australia. For how long? Who knows? Are we crazy? Probably. But if not now, then probably never. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the road.
So, to quickly recap, we've left our jobs, packed up our apartment and bought our dream four-wheel drive, and have even put a deposit down on a caravan that would hopefully become our home for the next year. Our intention? To head north through Queensland, the Northern Territory and Western Australia before some roads become impassable as the monsoon season starts to kick in. Or so we thought. You know what they say about best laid plans.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
The world will soon enter a pandemic.
For the first time in a century, the Queensland border is closed.
Doesn't life have a funny way of flipping your plans on its head? The decision to not backtrack on our plans to travel around Australia was not an easy one, particularly given that the state borders are closed to all non-essential people, i.e. us, and we have no idea when they will reopen. Some people are saying weeks, others are saying months. Who knows who's right? After much deliberation, and if I'm being honest, heated debate, we bit the bullet and pressed on, starting with picking up our caravan from the dealership and driving it to the southern Highlands, where we'll self-isolate until restrictions ease. Home. First time driving a caravan. We just picked up our brand new Coromal caravan and hitched it on the back. Look, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit sketchy at the moment. I mean, I've never towed a caravan. I'm a bit of a caravan virgin, so it's a little bit sketchy, especially getting passed by these big trucks. We've only been driving it now for an hour or so down the motorway, so I'm sure I'll have a whole list of other things that I'll be struggling with or that are different, but for now,
Reversing.
I'm not looking forward to reversing. I'm really not looking forward to reversing. To explain that, we've got to take this into my parents' place in Barrel, because we're hunkering down there for a couple of weeks, and they've got these big stones out the front of their driveway, and we've got to try and turn it, get a wide enough angle to get it into their driveway without knocking those rocks over or damaging the side of the caravan. So that is a
Big test on day one.
That's challenge number 2. Getting on the motorway was, leaving the dealership, getting on the motorway was number 1, and now it's going to be parking the thing up. But I think we just need to take it slow and steady and be very cautious. I think we'll be alright.
Duncan was born and grew up in this beautiful area, and his family still calls this area home. Barrel is one of the largest towns in the Southern Highlands, an hour-and-a-half drive south of Sydney, and sitting a cool 680 metres above sea level. Barrel was traditionally a rural retreat for the gentry of Sydney, and continues to attract those wanting a taste of fine country life. Although Duncan describes the town a little differently. Having grown up in Barrel, he was keen to point out on the way in the high proportions of old people's homes and antique shops. Personally, I think he's a little biased, but I will let you make your own mind up.
Instead of setting off on our trip around Australia, we find ourselves self-isolating in Barrel, Not the start we'd hoped for when we quit our jobs and left Sydney, that's for sure. Determined to make the most of our situation, we've set ourselves the goal of getting out as much as we can while still observing the government guidelines around COVID. This morning we've gotten up relatively early. That's 7 o'clock, so not particularly early, I can't claim that one. And we're heading out to a bunch of waterfalls because there's been a lot of rain lately and there should be a lot of water going over the waterfalls, so they should make for some pretty cool photos / videos. So it's a very misty morning this morning and we're hoping it burns off into some lovely sun, but still going down to the waterfalls is going to be pretty atmospheric.
Yes, the first place we're going to head to today is Belmore Falls, which is about a 25-minute drive just south of Bowral. It's a multi-level or multi-layer waterfall and it's got some really cool swimming holes at the bottom. Now I think it's going to be a bit too cold to swim as we're heading into winter, but we're going to try and see if we can find a track to head down to the bottom of the waterfall and then at least get some cool shots from the base.
I've been really wanting to do some sort of long exposure photos of waterfalls and also long exposure videos, so that's what we're aiming for today. So we're just descending down, it's pretty steep steps, down towards the bottom of Belmore Falls. We went across the top earlier and it was actually amazing to see with all the mist of the morning. Definitely recommend coming out here early. If you can still see it behind me, but there's still all the mist filling the valley and flowing through. So hopefully by the time we get down the bottom, some of it may have burnt off and we can get some really cool shots of the waterfall. Slowly making our way down the hill, and the whole way down we can hear this really nice sound of the running water. It sounds like a waterfall to my left and a waterfall over in front somewhere, or maybe they're all the one and it's just an echo, but yeah. The whole way down has been all these lovely ferns, a beautiful mat of green ferns, and then just the sound of running water. So it's a really nice walk down to the bottom. It's not one of those waterfalls where you have to get to the waterfall to actually enjoy the walk. The whole way down's been beautiful so far. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Okay, we've just come around this corner and come out of that waterfall. That's the top of Belmore Falls. As you can see, there's a lot of water going over the top, so I'm glad we came out today. I think we're going to get some great photos at the bottom. What do you think, Sophie? You impressed?
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
I think we're getting pretty close to the bottom now. The track's getting pretty wet and quite slippery. I've already taken a little tumble where I was trying to get under a log, but hey, these are the sacrifices we make. And the waterfall's getting really loud now, so hopefully in about a couple of minutes we'll pop out right at the bottom of one of them. Wow, this place is so dope. This is going to be one of the coolest waterfalls I think I've seen. The fact that there's so many levels. I'm right at the bottom of I think the first level. This is really cool.
So we have just gotten down to the base of the waterfall and it is incredible. You can probably hear the noise behind me. The waterfall is just there, so right in here we're sort of secluded from the spray. We haven't had any breakfast yet today and it's nearly lunchtime. Dunk's just taking a few on this pretty awesome swimming jar. We're gonna have some food.
Feeling refueled yet?
Yeah, bananas are the best thing.
As I come around the corner here, you can see the main waterfall, or at least the bottom of the main waterfall.
This waterfall is incredible. It's just absolutely breathtaking.
Look at this. This is epic. Look at this spot. It's pretty wet though. Yeah, there's a lot of water. It's very wet down here, and our feet are very muddy now. But this is the top one of, I don't know, a series of plateaus of waterfalls. I'm not sure if you can get down to all of them. Probably can, but this is the big top main one, and it looks pretty amazing. I want to come back here in summer and go for a swim.
Yeah.
I just put my feet in before and it was so cold, so I don't think I'll be swimming today. Look at that behind me. Yeah, you can see why this is one of the things you need to do when you come to New South Wales. This is definitely a very impressive waterfall. Definitely worth the walk down. I'm pretty pumped. How you feeling about it, Soph?
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
So we've just finished up at the waterfall. Time to climb back up. Test our fitness.
Yeah.
But the sun's come out. So as we came down, it was super misty and quite sort of like mysterious. And now we're heading back out and you It's bright, dappled sun, which is really, really nice. It's a lot warmer than when we're down at the waterfall.
We are just making our way back up after we have gone down to the waterfall, and it's a bit of a climb, particularly at this bit. And the sun's come out. It's definitely a few degrees warmer than it was a minute ago. It's so nice to have that sun just on your face like that.
We have just gotten back to the top after ascending back up from the waterfall. It's amazing how much less time it takes when you're not stopping every 2 minutes to take a photo. We were like, oh, it's going to take ages to get back. Actually, it took like 5-10 minutes. Well, 10 minutes, not 5. Don't want anyone thinking it only took 5 minutes. But that's it. Back where we started. How good?
So we've just finished our incredible walk, and it was incredible. But now we're feeling less than enthused. We reached the top of the walk and there was a police officer waiting because technically the walk is prohibited, and there is a relatively small sign that penalties do apply, but one of those things, what are the odds? Just the odds were on the time that we came up, and the lady's already gone. So yeah, it's a beautiful walk, but if you're going to do it, be prepared that you might get a fine.
What frustrates me is, you know, straight after we got fined, she left. So I think we were the unlucky ones that sort of happened to cop the fine today. But yeah, that's definitely, you know, it was a beautiful waterfall and I really enjoyed seeing it. Frustrating that you can't go to the bottom. Even more frustrating that if you get caught going to the bottom, you know, you face a $300 fine each, which isn't insignificant for you know, going down a bush track. So yeah, feeling less than buzzed now, feeling a little bit deflated after that trip. You know, it was a pretty amazing waterfall at the bottom, really, really cool to see. Seemed like a pretty common thing to do, was very written about, and yeah, fine. So won't be doing that again.
Next week we don't head down any more restricted trails. Instead we go foraging for edible mushrooms to cook up in a nearby forest. Tune in to see what we find and to see what we end up cooking.
Pretty good.
Have a great week.